Stroke, a global health nemesis, stealthily preys on well-being, striking unexpectedly to cause disability and mortality. It's imperative to recognize its early warning signs, a decisive step in saving lives. Picture the brain as a bustling metropolis where neurons and blood vessels form an intricate network. A stroke disrupts this harmony, causing chaos like an unforeseen calamity. Acknowledging these early signs is like having a crucial emergency plan, potentially transforming a crisis into a recovery. This essential guide details 10 key stroke symptoms, each a potential signal of this life-threatening event. Early recognition paves the way for timely medical intervention, changing life-altering outcomes to stories of resilience and recovery. Sign 1. High blood pressure. High blood pressure, often dubbed as the silent killer, lurks in the body's intricate vascular network, unbeknownst to many. It's a deceptive adversary that operates stealthily, incrementally exerting excessive force against the delicate walls of blood vessels. In the brain, this relentless pressure can cause catastrophic failures in the circulatory system. Imagine the blood vessels as pipelines supplying life-giving blood to the brain, a bustling metropolis of neural activity. High blood pressure is like an uncontrolled surge of water pressure, stressing these pipelines to their breaking point. Over time, this constant high pressure can lead to the weakening and narrowing of blood vessels, setting the stage for a stroke. High blood pressure doesn't merely raise the risk of a stroke, it sets a domino effect in motion. When blood vessels in the brain succumb to this unyielding pressure, they may burst, leading to hemorrhagic stroke, or become so narrow that they clog up, precipitating an ischemic stroke. These events are akin to a sudden blockade or a rupture in the city's essential supply lines, causing chaos in the neural network. Furthermore, high blood pressure accelerates the process of atherosclerosis, the buildup of plaques in arteries. As these arteries harden and narrow, they become more susceptible to blockages, the precursors of strokes. It's a silent progression, often going unnoticed until it's too late. Understanding and managing high blood pressure is akin to placing a vigilant guard at the city gates, keeping a watchful eye on potential threats. Regular monitoring, lifestyle changes, and medication can effectively lower this risk, acting as crucial shields in the battle against stroke. Sign 2. Unexplained fatigue. Fatigue, often dismissed as a mere byproduct of our hectic lives, can sometimes whisper secrets about deeper health issues when it appears abruptly and without clear cause. This kind of sudden, unaccountable weariness can be an ominous forewarning of a stroke. It occurs when the brain, the master conductor of our body, begins to receive an inadequate supply of blood. This reduction in blood flow starves the brain of essential oxygen and nutrients, leading to a state of exhaustion that no amount of rest seems to alleviate. Consider the brain as an intricate engine that powers every thought, movement, and sensation. When the fuel supply, blood flow, to this engine dwindles, the entire system starts to operate less efficiently. Like a car running low on gas, the body begins to slow down, signaling distress through fatigue. Sudden fatigue can be the result of alterations in brain activity, particularly in areas governing energy and alertness. The brain's complex network relies on a delicate balance of chemicals and electrical signals. When blood flow is compromised, this balance is disrupted, leading to an overall sense of lethargy. This is not just tiredness, it's a warning bell that something is amiss in the cerebral circuitry. In the context of stroke, this type of fatigue is like a shadow, often overlooked in the bright light of more recognizable symptoms. Yet, acknowledging and understanding this shadow can be critical. It's a subtle sign, urging us to pay closer attention to our body's whispers and nudges, reminding us of the intricate and delicate nature of our health. Sign 3. Visual disturbances. Vision, more than just a window to the world, acts as a crucial barometer for the health of the brain's vascular system. Our eyes, intricately connected to the brain, are often the first to signal trouble in this delicate network. When the blood flow to parts of the brain responsible for vision is compromised, the effects can manifest in our eyesight, turning it into a critical early warning system for stroke. Imagine the brain's blood vessels as highways transporting vital nutrients and oxygen. When there's a blockage or damage in these highways, it's akin to a traffic jam disrupting the delivery of essential supplies to the visual processing areas. The result? Disturbances in the way we perceive the world around us. Changes in vision, such as blurring, double vision, or sudden loss of sight, should never be taken lightly. These symptoms can signify a reduction in blood flow to the brain, potentially heralding a stroke. It's as if the brain is sending out an SOS signal through our eyes, alerting us to internal troubles. Blurred vision might indicate a transient ischemic attack, TIA, often a precursor to a full-blown stroke. Double vision or loss of sight, particularly when occurring suddenly, can be a sign of a blockage or hemorrhage in the brain's visual pathways. These visual anomalies are not just mere inconveniences. They are urgent messages from the brain, urging immediate medical attention. Recognizing and responding to these visual warning signs can be pivotal in averting the severe consequences of a stroke. It's about seeing beyond the surface and understanding the profound messages our body sends us through our vision. Sign 4. Severe headaches. Severe, sudden headaches can be more than just a pain. They can be harbingers of a cerebral catastrophe. These headaches, especially when they strike like a bolt out of the blue and are accompanied by other symptoms such as blurred vision or difficulty speaking, can be critical indicators of vascular trauma in the brain. Think of the brain as a complex network of pipes where blood, the life-giving fluid, circulates. When something goes awry in this network, such as a burst pipe, hemorrhage, or a blockage, it can cause a sudden and severe headache. This type of headache is the brain's distress signal, an alarm that something potentially dangerous is unfolding within. The onset of a thunderous headache can be associated with increased pressure inside the brain, either from bleeding, hemorrhagic stroke, or from a blockage that prevents normal blood flow, ischemic stroke. This increased pressure can trigger pain receptors in the brain, resulting in a headache that's unlike any regular headache. It's often described as the worst headache ever experienced, a telltale sign that demands immediate attention. Such headaches are like the red flags of the brain, waving urgently to signal the need for prompt medical evaluation. They can be the first visible sign of a stroke, indicating that critical moments are ticking away. It's crucial to recognize these headaches for what they are, potential stroke alerts, and to act swiftly, as timely intervention can mean the difference between life-altering consequences and a successful recovery. Sign 5. Numbness or weakness in limbs. The sudden onset of numbness or weakness in one side of the body is like a silent alarm going off, signaling potential danger in the brain's complex circuitry. This symptom often points to a disruption in the blood flow to specific brain areas that control muscle coordination and sensation. The brain, a masterful conductor of the body's symphony, relies on a steady flow of blood to orchestrate movement and feeling. When this flow is interrupted, parts of the body may lose their ability to respond, resulting in numbness or weakness. Imagine the brain's neural pathways as intricate wiring in a sophisticated machine. When one wire frays or gets cut off, certain parts of the machine won't function correctly. Similarly, if a stroke disrupts the neural pathways, it can cause sudden loss of sensation or strength, particularly on one side of the body. This asymmetry is a critical clue, as strokes typically affect one side of the brain, leading to symptoms on the opposite side of the body. This loss of feeling or strength is not just a temporary inconvenience. It's a stark warning that demands immediate medical attention. When parts of the body suddenly go numb or become weak, it indicates that vital areas of the brain are under siege. The longer these symptoms are ignored, the greater the risk of permanent damage. Recognizing and responding to these signs of numbness or weakness can be life-saving. It's a race against time, where every moment counts. Immediate medical intervention can often restore blood flow and minimize damage, preserving essential functions and improving recovery outcomes. Sign 6. Difficulty speaking. The ability to speak, a hallmark of human interaction, is intricately tied to the brain's intricate workings. When someone suddenly finds words eluding them or their speech becoming slurred or garbled, it can be a glaring red flag of a disturbance in the brain's language centers. These areas, primarily located in the left hemisphere for most people, are the epicenters of language processing and production. A disruption in blood flow to these critical areas due to a stroke can impair the neural pathways necessary for coherent speech. Imagine the brain as a sophisticated communication network where language centers act as control hubs. When these hubs experience a disruption, such as reduced blood flow or damage from a stroke, the entire network of speech can falter. This impairment can range from struggling to find the right words to complete inability to speak. Even subtle changes in speaking ability, often overlooked, can be early warnings of a cerebral vascular disorder. Difficulty in articulating words, a sudden struggle to construct sentences, or an uncharacteristic slurring of speech are not just simple lapses. They are potential indicators of a stroke, signaling that parts of the brain responsible for language are under duress. Prompt recognition of these changes is crucial. Just as a skilled linguist discerns the nuances of language, so must we attune ourselves to the subtleties of our speech patterns. Early detection and intervention can often prevent severe outcomes of a stroke, safeguarding one's ability to communicate. It's about listening not just to the words being said, but also to how they are being spoken, turning our attention to the brain's cry for help through altered speech. Sign 7. Memory disorders. Memory, the tapestry of our past experiences and knowledge, is closely intertwined with the health of our brain. Sudden memory loss or cognitive impairment can be a telltale sign of reduced blood flow to the brain regions responsible for memory formation and retrieval. The brain, like a vast and sophisticated library, stores a wealth of information. When the blood supply to this library is compromised, accessing its vast resources becomes challenging, leading to memory lapses or confusion. Think of each memory as a book stored in the brain's library. When a stroke disrupts the blood flow, it's like the lights flickering in this library, making it difficult to find and read the books. This disruption can manifest as forgetting recent events, struggling with familiar tasks, or feeling disoriented in well-known surroundings. The repercussions of memory disorders extend far beyond mere forgetfulness. They can profoundly affect one's quality of life. Suddenly, managing everyday tasks becomes a Herculean effort. The confidence in making decisions wanes, and familiar faces and places may seem alien. These changes can be deeply disconcerting, leaving individuals feeling lost in their own world. Moreover, memory disorders as a sign of a stroke are not just a personal challenge. They signal a critical health concern that demands immediate attention. Recognizing these changes as potential stroke symptoms is essential, as early intervention can significantly reduce the risk of permanent damage and help preserve the sanctity of one's memories and cognitive functions. Sign 8. Loss of balance. A complex ballet of the brain, muscles, and sensory organs is crucial for navigating our world. When balance falters and dizziness sets in, it's often more than just a fleeting unease. It can be a significant indicator of disruption in the brain's balance centers. These areas, including the cerebellum and brainstem, are pivotal in orchestrating the symphony of signals that keep us upright and coordinated. A stroke affecting these regions can impair their ability to send and receive these crucial signals, leading to a loss of balance or vertigo. Imagine the brain as a sophisticated control tower, managing the traffic of sensory and motor information. When a stroke disrupts this flow, the result can be akin to air traffic control losing its bearings, leading to disorientation and an inability to maintain equilibrium. This disturbance can manifest as a sudden feeling of spinning, unsteadiness on feet, or a staggering gait. The repercussions of balance loss extend beyond a mere inconvenience. They infiltrate every aspect of daily life. Routine tasks, such as walking, turning, or even standing, can become daunting challenges. This loss of autonomy can be alarming and disheartening, as the simple act of moving confidently through space becomes a struggle. Furthermore, balance issues can serve as a critical alert to a potential stroke. They necessitate immediate medical attention, especially when accompanied by other symptoms like weakness, numbness, or vision changes. Early recognition and treatment of balance disturbances can significantly improve outcomes, helping to avert more severe complications and preserving independence. Sign 9. Nausea and vomiting. Nausea and vomiting, often perceived as common and non-specific symptoms, can sometimes be the body's alarm system indicating serious neurological issues. Especially when these symptoms occur suddenly and are accompanied by other stroke signs, they can point to disturbances within the brain. This could be due to a vascular event disrupting normal brain function or an increase in intracranial pressure, a situation where the brain and its fluids are under excessive pressure. Imagine the brain as a highly sensitive command center operating within a precise balance of pressure and fluid dynamics. When something disrupts this equilibrium, such as a bleeding stroke or a blockage impeding fluid drainage, it can trigger the body's emergency response, manifesting as nausea or even vomiting. These symptoms are not just discomforts. They are crucial indicators that something may be profoundly wrong in the brain's vascular system. The sudden onset of severe nausea or vomiting, particularly in the absence of a digestive cause, necessitates immediate medical attention. It's a potential sign that the brain is experiencing a crisis, such as a stroke, and swift action is required to prevent serious complications. When accompanied by other symptoms like headache, dizziness, or altered consciousness, nausea and vomiting take on even greater significance. They serve as red flags, urging a rapid response to what could be a life-threatening cerebral event. Recognizing and acting upon these signs can be pivotal in mitigating the damaging effects of a stroke, preserving brain function, and saving lives. Sign 10. Heart rhythm disorders. Heart rhythm disorders, particularly atrial fibrillation, AFib, significantly heighten the risk of stroke. In AFib, the heart's upper chambers beat irregularly, disrupting the normal flow of blood. This irregular heartbeat can lead to the formation of blood clots within the heart. These clots have the potential to break free, travel through the bloodstream, and eventually lodge in the brain, causing a stroke. Imagine the heart as a pump and the blood vessels as a network of pipes. In atrial fibrillation, this pump works erratically, creating turbulent flow and areas where blood can pool and clot. When these clots are pumped out of the heart, they can travel to the brain and block vital blood vessels, cutting off the blood supply to parts of the brain. A recipe for a stroke. Disorders like AFib not only disrupt the rhythm of the heart, but also its efficiency in circulating blood. This inefficiency can lead to decreased blood flow to the brain and other vital organs, increasing the risk of blockages and strokes. The reduced blood flow can starve the brain of oxygen and nutrients, leading to brain cell damage or death. Regular monitoring of heart health and managing risk factors such as high blood pressure, obesity, and diabetes are crucial in preventing AFib-related strokes. Lifestyle modifications, medications to control heart rate and rhythm, and blood thinners to prevent clot formation are common strategies. It's vital for individuals to seek medical advice if they notice any changes in their heart rhythm or experience related symptoms. Early detection and management of heart rhythm disorders can be a key strategy in reducing the risk of stroke. Conclusion. The early detection of stroke warning signs is not merely beneficial, it's potentially life-saving. Recognizing these signs accurately and promptly can dramatically reduce the risk of long-term disability. Each moment counts, and awareness is the first line of defense against the devastating impact of a stroke. It is imperative that everyone takes these warning signs seriously. Immediate medical intervention upon suspicion can make a substantial difference in outcomes. It's equally important to engage in regular health checkups and maintain a healthy lifestyle, including managing risk factors like hypertension and diabetes. These proactive measures are not just preventive steps but can be life-altering in preserving health and well-being. Understanding and timely response to stroke symptoms are crucial in turning the tide against this medical emergency. Every individual's awareness and action are key to minimizing the severe consequences of a stroke, embodying the power to protect and preserve life.